Johnny, got to get your thoughts on your own career, because I've seen some lovely posts from a lot of people for your contribution in Kansas. Even the MLS itself paying tribute to the work you've done there. 34, it's quite a long time that you spent there, and a lot of people appreciated what you contributed.
Yeah, I was there for 7 years, being captain the last sort of three and a half, and yeah, it was a tough one, to be honest. It wasn't something that I really wanted. I wanted to stay, but we haven't had the best couple of years, and they're making big changes there, and obviously this is the way that they thought was best for the club. So I've been lucky wherever I've went. I've always had the backing of the fans, and it wasn't any different there. So the messages I've received and people reaching out has been nice. Obviously, it's never nice to leave anywhere that you've spent so long at and you've built so many relationships. But it's I still feel good. The plan is to go back out there. Speaking to a few people right now, so definitely going to continue playing, and it looks like it'll probably be in the MLS still as well. Yeah,
was there a wee sniff or a temptation to come home?
There was, I've had a couple of people reach out, and there's been a couple of things, and it's obviously the appeal is always to come back home, but I feel that I've done well out there. I've enjoyed myself out there as well, and there's a lot of things to think about as well. I've got my family there, a young family as well, so.
Citizenship coming up as well.
Citizenship, can apply for citizenship next year as well. So just different things like that. The kids can get it next year. That was something that we always wanted to do, and like I said, I've enjoyed it there. I feel like I've built myself a good reputation there, and a lot of clubs have reached out. So there's a few that I'm really excited about. So just kind of need to wait what the next week or two holds. There's a lot of different rules, regulations there. They've got the re-entry drafts and expansion drafts and stuff like that we don't really have. So, I still don't understand most of that.
See, in terms of when you first went out there till now, what's the changes been like in the league, like year by year?
It's
obviously Messi and that having a big effect on that.
I know what the perception is of the MLS, but when you watch it, and just for me, from being there, every year the standard gets better. Mm-hmm. There's more teams coming in. They're attracting younger players. It's not the sort of guys who are going at their end of the career. A lot of teams are going away from that model and try to get young guys in. So they've brought in, like the DP would be your guy who's about to finish his career, comes in big money.
Yep.
Now they've brought in a young DP. So a lot of people are going after younger guys. And that's been the standard for me has went up every single year. And people who don't watch it or watch it enough are still going to give it the stick and that old stigma that it's the MLS, it's retirement league, but it's completely different for that. There's just so many things that you need to.
And in terms of like the coaches and that as well, because I think it's like when we obviously at Dundee United, and then you went to Derby, and the intenseness of playing football in Britain, do you think that's now affecting it as the years have went on, or is it a completely different coaching style?
I would say so. There's a lot more foreign coaches coming over, so whether they're British or South American, they're bringing in these coaches, and a lot of the teams are starting to look like that as well. And the way some of the teams are starting to play as well is it's definitely propelling the league, and it's grew so much in the 7 years I've been there. I think it's just going to continue to do it.
Is it better also because obviously, when I look back at what went wrong first time around the North American Soccer League, in the 70s they just brought people, as Ryan pointed out there, at the end of their career, superstars who were there just to take big bucks and leave. One of the things that I was reading up on was the fact that there's a greater structure of kids playing the football and can continue to play, and there seems to be not so much a huge drop-off, but a drop-off of people playing American football because of injuries that you can sustain.
That's really in the last few years I've noticed that. A lot of American teams who had never really paid much attention to their academies are all starting to do it now. And then, like you said, so many people are getting involved in it. I think the concussions are the main one, taking them away from American football. There's a lot of bad and high impact injuries and that. So the turnaround I've seen, and Kansas has always been big for football. My kids play it, but even when you take them to the little like summer camps and stuff like that, the amount of kids out there is crazy, to be fair. And I think when you speak to people now, the turnaround I've seen has been massive, and I think it's just going to continue to grow like that as well.
Yeah, nice of obviously Scott to let the cat out of the bag. You're going for citizenship. We knew
You just let another cat out of the bag 2 minutes before that.
Oh no, exactly. But we knew we knew he was going for citizenship because obviously he's growing the beard and he's starting to read some books as well. He's really looking forward to the new president. But,
I can't believe he's not coming back and going to Livingston. Gowser's trying to nobble him, man.
Tried.
Livingston or LA.
yeah, exactly.
Close.
Minor technicality on the weather and the manager. Wee Davey would soon have him sorted out, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Ryan?
that beard will be clean off in a week.
Absolutely brilliant. I'll tell you what, before you go, when you come into the studio, it felt as if we just left you yesterday. You know, you kept your Scottish accent. Tam and I, and we've all been talking about in the last 7 days, I was in the company of Sir Kenny Dalglish, kept his Scottish accent down there in Liverpool. What about yourself? Do you change when you go back over to America? You know, do you suddenly,
speak slower.
do you have to, you speak slower, but have you ever, you know, do you at that point when you're away from the boys, because you know we'd Kenya, do you eventually get back to America and go, hey boys, we're going out for some dinner and that, and then we're going
From
to
the
go
deep
play?
south.
Oh, Jesus.
Alabama.
Wait a minute. He looks as if he's driving a truck. You keep your Scottishness, that's what I'm asking you.
I do. Like Tam said, you have to slow down a little bit when you're talking. Some of the words that you have to say, you feel yourself going, oh.
You've never had any other Scottish boys in your team, have you?
No, there's never been any Scottish boys. A couple of the words that they say over there that you kind of have to say, that you think to yourself,
Nice hustle.
I get slaughtered. I get slaughtered.
What are those two words?
W.
So locker room's a big one when they say locker room.
Cleats.
That annoys me. Cleats, trash, sidewalk. There's a couple where you're just like highway. You're just like yourself saying it, and that's a shocker. But no, it's.
Have you said take the trash out?
I don't say it in the house, but
Get in the locker room, guys.
no, it's the main thing is slowing it down, and then if you've had it's like you've had a couple of bevies, and it starts to come back again. But one of my teammates, a few of my mates came over a few years ago, and we went out, and he was like, "You guys don't speak English." Like he'd been that used to listening to me slow down how I talk to him, and then he heard all of us together, and he was lost, absolutely lost. So I've still kept my Scottish accent, unlike some people we know, Scotty.
Aye.
I
names.
won't say names. I think everyone knows. Barry Ducks.
Is he speaking Polish?
I know it's a hybrid of different accents he's got right now. But no, I'd myself if I lost my accent.